Okay, so last night I made a decision that I wasn't sure was going to be the best decision I had ever made. But yesterday I found out that there was planned a peaceful protest in support of justice for George Floyd in my town where I live, downtown Norfolk, Nebraska. And so I decided that since I was going to be off work in time, I would grab my camera and just go downtown and see what was going on. I've seen lots of reports from other towns across the country where people are saying, the instigators got bussed in, that it wasn't local people that were causing the trouble. There weren't that many local people even at the protest when it went, turned into violence. I've seen a lot of that stuff, so I thought, well, if there's non-locals in Norfolk, we're a small enough town, we're going to know it. If there are buses parked around, we're going to see them. There's no way to hide those in a town this size. We're only about 25,000 people, give or take. So it's still a relatively small town, even though everybody doesn't know each other. And I wanted to be able to come back today and report that nothing happened. I wanted to be able to come back and report that the peaceful protest was exactly that. It was peaceful. And I may or may not agree with protesting on behalf of a specific person, a specific race, a specific anything like that. It doesn't matter whether or not I agree with the reason for the protest. But what I do support is Americans' right to do such a thing peacefully. We have the right to peacefully assemble. And so I wanted to go show an example for the rest of the world. I wanted this to be a protest that was exactly that, a protest, and not a riot, not complete anarchy, chaos, violence, things like that. What I really wanted to do was come back and report that there was nothing to report. Some people showed up with signs. They had face masks on because of the fact that nobody wants to go home and take, potentially take coronavirus back to their families. That's exactly what happened. That's all it was. So I'm going to put some clips of the two live streams I made in this video, and if you want to watch them in their entirety, I will leave the raw, uncut live streams on my channel, and I will put a description down, or a link in the description down below, and I'll also put those right up in this area for you, so that you can get to those as well. If you want to see the whole thing, but there's the things that I'm going to cut out, you're not going to miss anything. It's mostly just me driving around. I had the camera mounted on my dash mount and drove through the intersection where this was going on from every direction. There's a lot of me just going and driving around the block and turning around and coming back. There was a very cool part of this, though, where I was stopped at the red light, and I was in the front of the line right at the corner, right beside where everybody was lined up with their signs. And I put my windows down to see, what they were saying, what they were chanting. A couple fellas talked to me through my car window and asked me if I supported what they're doing, and I said, well, I support the fact that they have the right to do it. Made them happy. Everybody was peaceful, and I mentioned that I was happy to see that everybody was doing it the right way, and I commended them, and they seemed to really appreciate my appreciation for what they were doing, if not why. So I'm going to make sure that shows up in the video, and a few other things. I'm going to cut out some of the driving, some of me just walking around. But like I said, there really wasn't anything to report. We did drive through that area late last night, and there wasn't a mess. There wasn't a bunch of signs lying around on the sidewalk or in the gutter. I didn't see any spray painted graffiti. There were no fires. I didn't see any broken anything. I very much want to commend the protesters for doing it right. So if you want to see what a protest looks like, the way it was intended by our founding fathers, a peaceable assembly, then watch this.
So I'm driving up 13th Street northbound, Highway 81 here in Norfolk. So you can see the traffic's backed up here, at least a block back from the corner. I don't really see much happening up here. Traffic still flowing. There are people standing on the corner with some signs. So we'll see what's going on. We might just drive and cover maybe every angle, and then we'll see what's going on, if there's a safe place to park. Because protesting is cool, and as I was first going live, like I said, I mean, I don't have to agree with what the protest is about to agree with the fact that they deserve a chance to do it. As long as there's no violence, anything like that happening, then I think that everybody has the right to do so. We're gonna drive straight through the intersection. This is where the rally is. This intersection right here. We will we'll go around the block and come at it from a different angle, and maybe get some of the people with their signs in the shot better. So now you can see coming up here, I don't know if I can zoom on this screen live. Yep, I can. Okay, so you can see some signs there. On the far side of the alley, there's a couple officers directly on my 3 o'clock up by the bank building right now. Of course, everybody that's out here protesting does have their face covered because COVID, and maybe because they don't want to be recognized. I don't know. I do see a few people with cameras. I think there's a news camera, a photographer off to the left, and I see a gentleman here to my right that works for one of the local radio stations covering everything. So like I said, we got a lot of protesters just showing up, and nothing bad happening. Maybe if we can go turn through the intersection here and then come back down and put these people on the right hand side again. Most of the people are gathering over here in front of the Walgreens store along the parking lot. Looks like the people on the other sides of the street are just taking some pictures and whatnot. Everybody seems to be very respectful of the traffic, and they're staying on the sidewalks. Looks like everybody is obeying the law, which is totally cool. Love to see that. And I'm very pleased to report that there's just nothing going on. I'm very happy about that. There's nothing bad's breaking out. There's no fires, there's no violence, there's nobody getting in anybody's face. I don't see any what do you want to say, anti-protesters or opposition protesters. It's being completely peaceful, and I think the way that it should be. So now here's some protesters again coming off to the side here. Everybody's being totally cool and just holding up their signs. We'll put the windows down here. Very cool. But everybody's being totally respectful. I support the fact that you got the right to protest, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. That's good enough for us.
And I like the way that everybody's being safe, being peaceful.
Peaceful.
My hat's off to you guys.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear.
It's not about what you're protesting, it's the fact that everybody's being smart. I like it.
That's good enough. More than enough. Better than 8. Better than 8.
All right, now I'm gonna see if I can pause this video and resume it. How are you? I'm here. Yeah, I'm pointing it that way though. You're not on. Hopefully there's nothing to report. I just drove every direction through the intersection and put it up on camera, and then hopefully there's nothing to... And they were talking to me. I was sitting at the red light there. They were talking to me and being cool about it, so it was pretty neat. You can't see, I'm standing here with two of Norfolk's finest. We're not putting them on camera because that's not what they're here for, so... But they're just here to make sure that nobody gets stupid. Pretty good bunch of people are gathering now over there, and everybody's still doing keeping the masks on and being safe and not spreading any infections. So that's cool to see. I know it's 100% that, and nothing to do with people just don't want their face shown. But no, this is pretty neat. So you don't get to see this very often in in Norfolk. And even better, what you don't get to see very often right now is nothing happening, which is the best thing possible. So since there's nothing going on, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to switch it off. If nothing happens, just look for that video tomorrow, and I will, like I said, take these two live streams, hook them together in one with an intro. And if anything else does happen, then I will let you guys know about it yet tonight. So thanks everybody for joining, and hopefully you don't hear back from me.